Good morning, students. Previously, we discussed about three methods of separation: evaporation, centrifugation, and separating funnel. Now, today we'll be discussing about three more methods of separation. So, let's begin with the first one, that is crystallization. So, let's see what is crystallization. As per definition, the process of cooling a hot concentrated solution of a substance to obtain crystals is called crystallization. And the process of crystallization is used for obtaining a pure solid substance from impure sample. So what is done is, this is actually a process which is used to separate out pure salts from impure salts. For this, we need this impure salt. Let's say this is impure copper sulfate. So first of all, this will be dissolved in water to get a copper sulfate solution. Once you get copper sulfate solution, this is then heated to get a saturated solution, which is then left to form crystals. Let's see. This is actually a setup which shows the process of crystallization. Like in first step, the impure solid is dissolved in solvent. Like you can see here, this is solvent water and this is impure sample, that is copper sulfate, let's say, and we'll use a glass rod to dissolve it. Glass rod is used to dissolve. Why? Because this doesn't react with any chemical. So once it gets dissolved, after this, the solution that you get, you'll first filter it so as to remove maximum of impurities from that. Then after that, what you will do is, we will now take a beaker and we'll put that filtrate into the beaker, and now this beaker will be heated so as to get so as to remove maximum water which is present there. But remember that it should not be heated to dryness. So the solution is heated to evaporate most of the solvent, that is water, and after that we'll leave it undisturbed for some time. That is, the hot solution is allowed to cool and the solid appears as pure crystals. Now the cold solution is poured off to obtain the crystals. The crystals may be dried by pressing them between sheets of filter paper. So as you can see here, filter paper is taken and these are poured into the filter paper, and filter paper will absorb the water which is present there in these crystals, and later on you'll get these type of crystals. So these are the crystals of copper sulfate. So this is a method or a technique to obtain pure salts from a mixture of salts, or you can say impure salt. Now sometimes you may ask, like, why this crystallization is carried out, why not simple evaporation? The reason behind this is the crystallization technique is better than simple evaporation because of the following reasons. First is, during evaporation the solution is heated to dryness, and during heating some solids may get decomposed or solids like sugar may get charged. Decompose means the salt may break down, or suppose if you have taken sugar, it may get charred, means here it will get burnt away or it will turn into carbon. Now second point is, some impurities may remain dissolved in the solution even after filtration. So on evaporation these contaminate the solid. So therefore this process of crystallization is better than evaporation. So even if it is asked in your test why crystallization is better than simple evaporation, so you'll be writing these 2 points. I hope you have understood. Let's proceed to the next. Now next is applications of crystallization technique. Now what are the different uses of this technique? First use is, it is used for purification of salts that we get from seawater. The salt that we are using at home, that is common salt, is again obtained from this technique, crystallization. And second point is, it is also used in separation of alum, which we call as fitkari, from impure salts. So this was your first method of separation or technique. Now, next technique is chromatography. Chromatography, chroma means it's a Greek word which means colors. So initially this technique was used for separating out colors, so therefore the name has been given as chromatography. So let's see what is chromatography first. Chromatography is a technique used for separation of those solutes that dissolve in same solvent in very small quantities. The most common being paper chromatography. So the separation is based on the fact that though two or more substances, they are soluble in same solvent, let's say water, but their solubility is different. So if it is asked like what is the basic principle of chromatography, so you'll be writing the basic principle of chromatography is differences in the solubility of the constituents of that color. In order to carry out this process, we need certain materials like we need a strip of filter paper, or you can take chromatography paper also, and a beaker which should have some water in it, and let's say we have taken clip or any support which can hold onto this filter paper. So first of all, what we will do is we'll take a strip of filter paper, and from this bottom line measure around 2 to 3 centimeters with the help of your scale and mark a line like this. Now at the center of this line put a dot here, and now whatever the mixtures of colors you have taken, let's say you have taken different colors which are mixed together. Now from that sample just take a drop of it and put that drop onto this dot. Now after this you will put this strip in this beaker which is containing water. But please remember one thing, while you are putting this filter paper into the beaker, this line should be above the level of the water. That means it should not touch water. So only this lower portion will be dipped in water, and on the top you can take the help of some metallic clips so as to keep it fixed. Now leave it undisturbed. Now what will happen is slowly and gradually this water will start rising due to capillary action, and in doing so whatever the colors which are present there in this dot, that is at the center, so depending upon their solubilities they will get separated at different heights. So that means this water which is rising up will start dissolving the constituent colors, and these different colors will be obtained at different heights. So on the basis of this you can separate different colors, and you can easily find out that what were the colors which were initially mixed in the dye. So this is basically shown here. What happens is actually this is, let's say, a dot which is containing different colors here. That means it's a dye mixture of different colors. Now when water start rising up, as you can see in the second glass, different colors they are separating at different levels, and finally you will get this type of strip here where you can see blue color, then red, and then other colors they are also obtained at different height. So since different colors they get separated, you can easily find out that what were the different colors which were initially mixed here. So this technique is called chromatography. Now we have some uses or applications of chromatography technique. First is, this technique is used to separate colors in a dye, like we discussed right now, and pigments from natural colors, and third is drugs from blood. Means in case some medicine, or you can say some chemical is there in blood, you can easily find it out by this technique. Now next technique is sublimation, which you are already aware of, you did in first chapter. Sublimation, as per definition, you know that this is a process of conversion of a solid directly into gaseous state or vice versa. Here, certain materials are required for carrying out this process. Like, first of all, we need a tripod stand, a burner, a china dish, wire gauge, then inverted glass, cotton plug, and the sample like ammonium chloride, which is to be separated. Sublimation, let's see, as per definition, the changing of a solid directly into vapors on heating and of vapors into solid on cooling is called sublimation, because this is interconvertible. Second is the solid which undergoes sublimation is said to sublime. The process of sublimation is used to separate those substances from mixture which sublime on heating. The solid substance obtained by cooling the vapors is called sublimate. The substances like ammonium chloride, the chemical formula is NH4Cl, camphor or kapoor, these are the substances which undergo sublimation. Now this is a diagram which shows how this process is carried out. So this you have already done in class in your previous chapter. Let's discuss. First of all, we'll take this china dish and the sample which is to be separated, that is ammonium chloride, a mixture of ammonium chloride and salt like sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is a substance which doesn't get converted into vapors on heating. It is not a substance which shows sublimation. So we'll take this mixture in this china dish and we'll put an inverted glass funnel over it, and remember that this should be plugged with some cotton so as to avoid the passing out of vapors into the surrounding. Otherwise, whole of the ammonium chloride vapors, they'll escape out. And we will not cover it completely. The reason is this will allow some air to enter so that cold air will enter, and that will help in solidification process. So when this mixture is taken and this funnel is put over the china dish, when you start heating it, because of the heat, you know that ammonium chloride, it sublimes on heating. So first of all, it will get converted into vapors, ammonium chloride vapors, and these vapors will start rising up. Since there is no outlet to move out, so therefore on coming in contact with the colder surface of this inverted funnel, they'll start depositing here. So here it's written, so solidified ammonium chloride, that means this is ammonium chloride. So once you see that whole of the ammonium chloride has escaped out, and later on just take out this funnel from here and let it cool down for some time. And when you observe the inner side or inner lining of this funnel, you will find a thin layer of ammonium chloride has deposited in the inner surface. So this is how you can separate out ammonium chloride, whereas the sodium chloride, NaCl, that will remain there in this china dish, because it is such a substance which get converted into molten and then vapor state at very high temperature. That is, it requires thousands of Kelvin or degree Celsius temperature to convert into vapors. So therefore it will not get sublime on heating. So we'll get only ammonium chloride. So I hope you have understood. So thank you, students. So we have discussed today three methods or three techniques: crystallization, chromatography, and sublimation. I hope you have understood, and rest of the topics we'll discuss later in the chapter. Thank you. Thank you so much.